Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I've been pretty jealous of some of my friends that have projectors instead of TVs. And I have been hearing a lot about these Nebula projectors where it's super bright. You can actually get a huge 120-inch screen from it, you know. And so imagine buying a 100-inch TV. I mean, how much that would cost you. And at the same time, hanging that thing up, I just don't even want to think about it. High-end projectors, that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? And so I had to experience one just to see what all the fuss is about. A week ago, I bought this Nebula, tiny Nebula. This is version 3, by the way, and it basically it does everything that this thing does right here. And the tech inside of this thing, there's something called DLP laser, which is supposed to be super bright. So I tested it out and I totally love it. It is one of the best projector that I've ever seen compared to some of my other ones that I've been getting, like the smaller ones. Not the high-end ones, the smaller ones. Totally love it. Now I'm checking out their high-end ones. Anyway, I've been testing it out for the past couple of days. And here's what I can say about it. So the first question that you're probably going to have when you look at these projector is that, can I watch this during the daytime with my windows open? I would say no, because, well, it's going to wash it out quite a bit, especially if you don't have a screen and you're just projecting this on your wall like I am. It's watchable, but it's really not like a full experience. So yes, you can do it, but I don't think I would recommend getting something like this in that scenario. If you're getting this and you're using this at night, watching a football game on your wall, yes, totally worth it. Totally worth it over buying a 100-inch screen. I'm really not that technical when it comes to projector, but for some reason, laser just makes it super bright when compared to other projectors that I've seen. Yeah, for some reason. The technology is still DLP, but because it's laser, the nit is like, it's 2200 nits. And it's super bright when you're watching it at night. I mean, this thing is incredible. I can actually see the player's face in a football game. I can read all the text that's on there. Yeah, it is incredible. And if you look at the footage right now, you can see that, I mean, I'm projecting it on a pretty big wall. I've already touched with the laser, which is literally, guys, if you're getting any projector that is around this price, I would definitely look into the laser piece of it. This particular projector, this one right here is pretty heavy, okay? I wouldn't call it portable because it's really not portable at all. I have to mount this thing on my heaviest tripod that I can in order to get this thing mounted up. I wouldn't trust this thing on any rinky-dink, stand at all, okay? Because this thing is heavy. It is hefty. Now, check out all of this right here. All these front elements and cameras and sensors and all that. What all that does is that it measures the wall and it's seeing that you're tilting the projector like this, and it's gonna automatically keystone it in so that it's a square image on the wall, even though you're tilting it this way. It does everything, all those things automatically. There's no like little knobs or anything like that for you to configure. And then at the same time, it also autofocus as well, making sure that it's the clearest. You can see the text and all that good stuff. So that's what all these little sensors right here is doing for you, okay? And so that's the big difference between this and some of the other projector, if you've ever used other projector before. It's so seamless that I actually don't even think about it anymore. I just pop it on a tripod, whatever position it's in, and it just looks great. Yeah. Now, buttons. On top here, there are some buttons and things like that. You really don't see it that much on here, but it does glow so that you can see it once you plug it in, okay? So once you plug it in, all of these buttons right here glows. There is actual control on here that you can control the menus with, a setting button, all the volume button and things like that is all on here. So all of the control that you would use on the remote is all on there. So you don't have to look for a remote just to turn on the volume and things like that. So the other thing that I want to talk about is this little back panel right here. So you open this up. There's this funky little setup that they have here where this right here is what they call a streaming dongle. Okay, so in order for the OS to work with this system, you have to plug this thing in. This is in a box, but it's for some reason it's separate. They didn't install it in there. I honestly don't know why they didn't just install this instead of having you install it. I have no idea why, to be honest with you. It feels like it's part of the projector, but yeah, they just have you install it, which I'm not sure why. Maybe just so that you can see that you can replace this thing. I'm not sure why you would replace this thing. So yeah, anyway, you just got to install it once you get it so that the OS will activate, which is funky. Since we're in the back here, let's talk about the power. This is literally like a full-on computer wire power. Yeah, it comes with this really thick cord that you power it up. Then there's obviously HDMI, USB, and then also an auxiliary port for you to plug any speakers in. So for the USB, really what that's for, guys, if you have like a Roku or a Amazon Fire Stick or something like that, you plug it into HDMI and usually it needs power, right? And so that's what the USB is for. But yeah, pretty basic back here. Nothing, you know, out of the ordinary. Now let's talk about the speakers. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but there are huge speakers on the side here. And let me tell you, the speakers on these are probably one of the best that I've heard. I mean, yeah, it's just loud. It's just really loud. So definitely you don't need to plug in a speaker to this thing at all. This thing will produce its sound just right, okay? So you definitely don't need to plug in your speakers at all. Let's talk about what I don't like about this projector. Now, I like this projector a lot, and I think I am going to keep it. But what I don't like about this projector, the remote, is so funky. You saw that we installed a streaming device back here, right? Well, the remote works with that device to turn up and down the volume, and because it's running on Android TV, it actually has a whole nother remote to it. And so on the initial screen, when you first set this thing up, you're actually using this remote right here to change the volume. But then afterwards, getting into the Android TV part of it, for some reason they want you to set this remote up. Like for instance, if you've ever used a regular TV and you want to attach another remote to that TV, you got to go through that process, and that's the same process that's on here, which is really funny because if you don't, you really can't use, let's say, the volume button. You can't use it at all. It won't work because the volume is actually controlled with Android TV. It's really hard to explain, I know, but the integration of the whole Android TV with this remote is really not great at all. And then lastly, the issue that I ran into when I was setting this thing up was that for some reason, because it's using Android OS in order to set up everything, like connecting to your Wi-Fi and things like that, it, for some reason, didn't give me the keyboard at some point. So like me having to sign into my Google account, it didn't give me a keyboard, so I was literally stuck there not knowing what to do. I even connected to my phone just to see if the keyboard pops up, and the phone app actually doesn't have a keyboard when you select it. So it was a really poor experience that I had right there with this projector. But then for some reason, I restarted a few times and it just corrected itself. But it does happen. I just want to let you know that for some reason it's just finicky, and some of you might experience it, and you're probably just going to return this projector saying that it doesn't work. But I did restart a few times, and the keyboard popped up, and I was able to continue on with that whole setup process. But you have to go through that setup process in order for even to get this thing working. Okay, so lastly, picture quality. Yeah, picture quality, awesome. This thing right here will deliver if you want picture quality, okay? Especially if you're watching this at night. Christmas tree was on and things like that. I was fine with it. So it still pump out really good picture quality. So it's not where you have to do pitch black. You know, the room doesn't have to be pitch black. Picture quality still look really, really good on here. And then the other thing, last thing was that the HDMI, I'm happy that they did this, but if you plug, let's say, Fire TV or Roku into this thing, it will automatically switch to the HDMI first. So you don't have to go through Android TV in order to get to the HDMI, which is what some of the other projector work. Yeah, you'll be amazed at some of the other projector will just boot into the OS first, then you have to select HDMI. This one right here automatically boots into it. So that's a great experience right there. I'm glad they did that. Anyway, so that's it right there, guys. That's my first couple of days test of this thing. I was going to return it after that whole hiccup about the whole keyboard not showing up. But after watching a football game with this thing, I really enjoy this thing. I mean, it's bright. It's pretty much, if you're thinking of getting like a huge OLED TV, check this thing out. Especially get the laser piece of it, because I feel like that laser just make everything a lot brighter. Anyway, guys, that's it right there. That's the Nebula Cosmo 4K laser version of this. This is an incredible piece of tech, okay? Especially for the price. I really feel like it's worth every dollar. It's just you'll run into some issue like that. Hopefully they'll correct it with like a firmware update or something like that for you guys that haven't purchased this yet. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm out. Bye-bye.